Hello and welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be playing Through the Breach Eldrazi, or Eldrazi Breach. Whole point of this deck is you cast Through the Breach or Portent of Calamity. So Through the Breach, you put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield, creature gains haste, and you sacrifice that creature at the beginning of the next end step. Our goal is to put in either Emrakul or Ulamog onto the battlefield. Both of these will hit for a ton of damage, and they have pretty large Annihilator. Emrakul has Annihilator 6. Ulamog will typically have Annihilator 7 or more as long as we have something in exile. So typically the ways we put something in exile is at the beginning of the game, Devourer of Destiny puts things in exile, or we can put something in exile underneath Ugin's Labyrinth, and Ulamog will see all of those. To round out our 7 drops, we've got All Is Dust, and so we're playing 11 7-drops for our Ugin's Labyrinth. And then Portent of Calamity does something kind of similar to Through the Breach, which helps us just cheat out our large Eldrazi. So we reveal the top X cards of our library. For each card type, I exile a card from among them, put the rest into your graveyard. You may cast a spell from among the exiled cards without paying its mana cost if you exiled 4 or more cards that way. Then you put the rest of the cards exiled into your hand. So we're playing a bunch of different types. We've got a few artifacts, we've got a few sorceries, we've got a few instants. We've got a couple tribal spells, we've got lands, we've got creatures. Normally getting that 4 off of Portent of Calamity isn't that difficult as long as we cast it for enough. Typically we're wanting to play as high as we can into X. Typically 6 to 7 at least would be ideal. And then we're playing some ramp in the form of Mind Stone and Talisman of Creativity to get us to that Through the Breach or the Portent of Calamity quicker. Speaking of ramp, we got Kozilek's command. It does it all. It makes spawns, it scries and draws, finds us what we need. We exile problematic creatures. We exile graveyards. We're playing 2 Stock Up and 2 Lorien Revealed to help kind of draw us into what we need. Lorien Revealed also able to grab us like our basic island or steam vents. And then we're playing 4 Chalice of the Void. This is kind of just a meta call. There's a lot of decks where X equals 0 or X equals 1 does a good bit to them. So against Affinity, we'll cast it on X equals 1. Against Prowess, we'll cast it... against Affinity, we'll cast it on X equals 0. Against Prowess, we'll cast it on X equals 1. If we can get there fast enough, we'll cast it against Ruby Storm for X equals 2. Just kind of pulling a lot of weight here and there and everywhere. The Fire and Ices are to deal with certain aggressive decks. So against Affinity, we can shoot down a couple Midnights or drones. The Ice can tap down something like Psychic Frog, buy us a turn, or maybe we tap down a land. So that way we can go for our Through the Breach or the Portent of Calamity our next turn to try to play around certain counter spells. And then the mana base is about what you would expect. 4 Eldrazi Temple, 4 Ugin's Labyrinth, an Otawara, 4 Shivan Reef, 3 Prismatic Vistas. We're an Izzet deck, just playing blue-red. And then over in the sideboard, we're playing 4 Thought-Knot Seer to hate out the opponent's hate. 2 Boseiju, who shelters all. Our deck's pretty weak to counter spells, so if they counter our Through the Breach or the Portent of Calamity, we'll normally fold there. So we're playing Boseiju to play around those counter spells. 2 Torpor Orb for the Blink decks. 2 Ashiok for things like Titan. Playing 3 Abrade, mostly in here for Ruby Storm because dealing 3 damage kills the Route, and then the destroying an artifact hits the Ruby Medallion, and 2 Disruptor Flute, again to kind of hate on hate or play against certain combo decks. Disruptor Flute against something like Belcher can be important. And yeah, that's the deck. Let's get into some games. Alright, everybody, you're into match 1. I'm gonna be honest, this hand doesn't have a ton going for it, so we're just gonna mulligan. I like this hand a bit better. We have a pretty quick Portent. Let's keep this, putting one of the talismans on bottom. And then we'll play an Ugin's Labyrinth. Put the All Is Dust under it and just go ahead and cast a Talisman. And we'll pass it to the opponent. Alright, opponent just plays Marsh Flats. We'll go ahead and crack our Prismatic Vista. Just grab an island, makes things simple. Cast a Mind Stone. And we'll cast a Talisman. And then next turn we get to go for a pretty big Portent. Opponent grabs an Elegant Parlor. And with a Marsh Flats, I feel confident in just saying this is Boros energy. So, oh, or maybe not, because I see a Solitude. So next turn we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. So we get to Portent for X equals 5. Opponent's on Mardu. Interesting. Alright, we'll play an Eldrazi Temple. And we'll just go for a really big Portent here. Portent X equals 6. This is turn 3. Okay, so we get to choose one of each type. So let's grab... So this is our artifact. This is our creature. This can be our instant, this can be our kindred, and we'll just grab an Eldrazi Temple here. And then we get to cast a spell from among the exiled cards. We'll cast Ulamog. And then when we cast it, the opponent exiles top half of their deck. So let's see what we're playing against here. Looks like just some kind of Mardu mid-range. We see Ragavan, Flage, Felia, Lightning Bolt, Solitude, Overlord of the Belmerks. Okay. Nothing too scary there. And then we will pass it to the opponent. And the Ulamog entered with 7 counters because we do have an Allah's Dust under here. This does have Word Sacrifice 2 permanents. And really, because of the Solitude, they're only having to sacrifice 1, because they can just sacrifice the Solitude as well. So that Portent just drew us 4 cards, made opponent use their Solitude. I will say, this deck is just super weak to Solitude. However, we do have an eventual Allah's Dust. I think we can even grab it and cast it next turn if we really wanted to. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we've got more than enough mana. Honestly, next turn we're probably just going for a large Kozilek command, trying to find more action. Okay, well, we found a stock up, which also gives us more action. Let's lead off on the stock up. See what we can find here. So... don't need a land this turn. We'll grab an Emrakul, and... we can almost borderline just play a mid-range play and go for Devourer of Destiny, but I feel more inclined to go for a K command. And then the order of these doesn't really matter. We'll play an Eldrazi Temple. We lose out on 1 mana by going for the Talisman, but I don't think I care that much about losing out on 1 for the for the Kozilek's command. So we'll just go ahead and tap those, cast the Talisman. And then we can K command for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so X equals 4. Maybe we can find a Through the Breach. Could also go for a Fire and Ice here if we need to. Okay, opponent just goes for a Flage. We're not that worried about Flage right yet. We're also at 33 right now. Our life total is not getting pressured. Can we just hardcast Emrakul next turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, we can just hardcast an Emrakul next turn. So let's just create and scry. Yeah, if you give this deck enough time, it will just hard cast an Emrakul. Okay, let's put on 100% we have enough next turn, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, yeah. So you can put on bottom. Honestly, all of these are fine on top. We'll... top, top, top. And if they have a Solitude to deal with this Emrakul, we'll just go for another Emrakul. When was the last time you guys saw a hard cast Emrakul? Oh, and that's right, because we're actually casting it. We get to take an extra turn after this. Oh, and the opponent's going to be dead because of the fire in hand, too. Wow. Okay, the opponent does have a Solitude again. Which we are perfectly fine with. Opponent's down to 2 cards in hand. We're at 45 life. And now the question is, do we just hardcast a Devourer of Destiny? Have a Devourer of Destiny? I think we just hold off on it. We can probably K-Command and Lorien Revealed if we want, or we could K-Command, try to find a Through the Breach to get this Emrakul out. So how much do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we can say 5, so we cast the K-Command for X equals 4. And then just see if we can find Through the Breach. Yeah, let's just do that. And if we don't find a Through the Breach, we just get to make some tokens and cast Emrakul next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's a Through the Breach, so... bottom... bottom. Just put this on top to make sure we can cast it. Top. And let's go for a Through the Breach. Okay, an opponent's going to concede it before even seeing that we have another Emrakul. Alright. Let's see what we've got in the sideboard. Alright, for the sideboard, we're going to cut 4 Chalice of the Void, because the opponent actually has a pretty varying CMC range. We're going to bring in 2 Torpor Orb to stop the Solitudes, and 2 Thought-Knot Seers for some hand disruption. And let's see what the opponent's got. Our opening hand is a little land light, so we're going to mulligan. And, oh man. I mean, we get a pretty quick Allah's Dust, which is pretty good against them. I think just off that, because we get to turn 4 do that, let's just keep and slow them down a little bit with a fire. Feels wrong to put a stock up away, but we're going to put the stock up away. And let's see what the opponent's got for us. Because I think this Allah's Dust, a turn 4 Allah's Dust, will probably buy us a good amount of time against them, especially since they're just trying to be super aggressive against us, I imagine. Okay, there's a Shivan Reef. We'll play the Eldrazi Temple, say go. Opponent just fetches for an Elegant Parlor. Surveils a land into the graveyard. Opponent just plays a Plains and passes it back to us. Here I'm inclined to just go for a Thought-Knot Seer. Opponent Solitudes the Thought-Knot Seer. We're still going to get to take something out of their hand, but they're going to get to draw a card before we see what's in their hand. So, honestly, I think I'm fine with this. They exile a Prismatic Ending from hand. Astounding they even keep any of those in. And they also kept in a Wrath of the Skies. We kind of don't care about this hand, right? I mean, they can Wrath to their heart's content. I don't think it's going to do anything important for them. I guess the Ketramos can provide some card advantage for them. They're going to try to get back Flage pretty fast, but we can just board wipe it. Or we could just... yeah. Let's just take the Ketramos here. Feels weird, but... it's probably the only thing we really care about. Oh, opponent plays Blood Crypt and Clarion Conqueror. Okay. So here we can just prepare the Fire and Ice. Don't think there's anything that we're going to want to fire. We'll probably just ice them, and then... we can actually make it a way they need to take 2 damage here if they want to play the Flage. So yeah, let's just play out Island here. We'll pass it to them, and then in their upkeep, we'll tap down one of their lands. To make it more difficult to cast the Flage. Which essentially all we're doing here is shocking them and drawing a card. Oh, is it a non... oh, hold on. I think I'm casting this wrong. There we go. Ice. We'll tap down there. Doesn't really matter. Elegant Parlor. Tapping this. We draw a card. We draw into an Emrakul. Guess that's pretty Emrakul. Yeah, opponent attacks us with Clarion Conqueror. It's fine. We gain some life. We're at 21 right now. The opponent's probably just going to play Flage here. Oh, no, it's an Overlord. Okay. And what are they going to try to get back here? An opponent returns a Failure here. Okay, on us. The Talisman's not really doing us much. It will be after we get rid of the Clarion Conqueror. And now my question is, when do we fire off this All Is Dust? Because if we fire it off now, we clear out the Clarion Conqueror and the Overlord. And if we wait till next turn, they're just going to flash in Felia next turn anyways. Which doesn't really do us anything important. And then they attack with Felia, blink the Overlord. Probably get some value. Maybe we just fire off the All Is Dust now, even though we know they have more action in hand. Yeah, let's just fire it off, see what we can make happen. And then now we kind of just need a Through the Breach off the top. Okay, opponent just casts Flage. Not a huge issue for us. Okay, we draw an Ugin's Labyrinth. Not what we super need here. We'll just cast out a Talisman. And pass it to the opponent. We'll say Flage will put us on a pretty quick clock here. Yeah, there's the Flage from the opponent. And them gaining life is actually a pretty big issue here too, because it means the Emrakul won't be able to one-shot. Okay, there's our 4th Eldrazi Temple. 1, 2, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're still a bit off from hard casting the Emrakul. Yeah, and I think the next attack from the opponent kills us, so we're going to need something to either deal with the Flage off top, or... again, Through the Breach would be one of our answers. Actually, Through the Breach isn't even a great answer. Okay, we get K-Command, we can exile the Flage and surveil and draw. Let's just play out the Shivan Reef here, so... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So... trying to think we can find Through the Breach and also cast Through the Breach this turn. So for 12... so we need to save 5, 7, so Kozilek's command for X equals 5? Yeah. Well, we could just make... no, we can't make tokens because the opponent's just going to Wrath the Skies. Yeah, let's see if we can find it here. So I need it for equals 5. And then... Oh no, because we won't have enough for Through the Breach. Hold on. Cancel that. Played land for turn this turn. Or do we just dig super deep and try to find the Through the Breach? So this has only got Annihilator 6. They sacrifice all their lands. No, we have to deal with the Flage. Yeah, so we'll just K command for X equals 4. And if we find the Through the Breach toward the top, then we do just win. Ooh, there's the Through the Breach. Alright, so... Bottom... 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 Top. And then we'll cast the Through the Breach. Get rid of all of the opponent's lands. Unless they have Solitude. If they have Solitude, then we're in a bad state. Oh, they have Solitude. Oh, man. Yeah, we knew most of what was in their hand. I guess we really just knew about Wrath of the Skies at this point. But yeah, that does deal with the Emrakul. We do go back up to 21 life, though, so we have some time. Yeah, an opponent just flashes on the Felia, so the only card we didn't know about in their hand was Solitude. Alright, but the opponent's in top deck mode now. Alright, we draw another Emrakul. We'll just play the Ugins. And we won't have enough mana for it, so we'll just say go to the opponent. We are only 2 mana away from hardcasting the Emrakul. Alright, opponent just attacks us. We'll cast another Talisman. And just pass it back. And opponent continues to just beat us with the Felia. Okay, we actually get a decent-sized Portent of Calamity here. So I say we just Portent for as much as we can here. So Portent for X equals 9. Let's see what we find. Alright, we find Emrakul, Fire Ice, Island, Kozilek's Command, Lorien Revealed. We're going to cast the Emrakul. We get to take another turn after this one. Not a bad draw, honestly. It's just a matter of, does the opponent have anything to stop the Emrakul here? I guess we could find out. Let's just hardcast a Thought-Knot Seer. Okay, opponent has another Solitude. So we're going to gain 15 up to 30. Opponent's just got an Arena of Glory in hand, so nothing we can take. We could set up for a Emrakul next turn. Let's see what we can draw off this Lorien Revealed. Okay, we find some good stuff there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're actually just short of casting the All Is Dust. We could cast a Portent for 3, but that's probably not good enough. I think we're just gonna hold off on K-Command. Might just K-Command for X equals 2, and also go ahead and deal with this Solitude. Or dealing with the Felia might be just as important. Or we can deal with both. Let's just go ahead and deal with both. So fire the Solitude. And then we'll K-Command. We'll make a bunch of spawns and exile the Felia. And then now that we've controlled the opponent out, we'll pass it to them. Okay, opponent thought seizes us, but I don't think that's going to matter too much. Okay, an opponent concedes it there. GG, opponent. Alright, we're on the draw here. Hear me out. We'll keep this. And if we can draw 7 or higher drop off top 2 turns in a row, we get to do a very, very quick Emrakul. Okay, that's not it. Let's Ugin's Lab, put Emrakul under it, and we'll just go Mind the Stone? There's no reason for it to be Mind Stone. Talisman. And onto the opponent. We'll likely just K command whatever it is that they play. Alright, opponent hits an Eldrazi Temple off top from us. Ooh, Chalice of the Void. I'm trying to figure out what the opponent's trying to cook over there. So let's just Ugin's Lab, nothing we can put under it. So now we have to choose between all of these wonderful options, whether we want a Mind Stone, Chalice, K command. I think, or maybe we just don't even worry about the Ragavan, because we K command for X equals 2 and make a couple tokens, put another land on top. Next turn we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Portent for X equals 6. I think that's just reasonable. Or we could hold off another turn and probably do it for even more. Let's Mind Stone. And Chalice for 1. We're just gonna take it easy peasy here. Let's take our time. We're not trying to rush to the finish line. Let's just make sure the finish line exists first. Opponent flashes in Felia. We are not against Boros energy. I repeat, we are not against Boros energy. We might be in trouble here. See, a Quantum Riddler from the opponent. And we're about to get attacked for 4. They're going to make a treasure. They're going to blink their Quantum Riddler. And now that we know they have Felia, Chalice does absolutely nothing against them. They get a Chalice of the Void from us. Which if they want to, they could cast on 0 or 1. Don't think it makes a ton of sense for them to do either. Okay, back on us. We hit Talisman. We've got K command. Portent for 4 is probably not going to be enough, so let's Talisman. And if they end up having Wrath, we're in a pretty bad position. Here, I think we just K command and make tokens. Can we get rid of Felia? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ugh. I mean, we're not in a great position either way. Let's hold off and we'll K command when it becomes relevant. Opponent fetches for a tap Steam Vents of all things. Okay, it's another Quantum Riddler. Hey, we're probably dead if they find Solitude. Yeah, we'll allow it. There's the Thundering Falls. I think they just had Thundering Falls in hand. Yeah, I think we'll need to interact with them somehow. Let's try to keep as much off the board as we can. So let's make tokens. Exile target creature. So here... Oh, do we even have enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. It's not a lot, but it's something. And then here we have to decide whether we care about Ragavan enough. Probably not. I think I just want to Portent for absolutely as much as I can here. Opponent fire and ISOs our tokens. So we're low on mana than we wanted to be. Let's just do it for as much as... Oh, actually, hold on. We have an Emrakul under here. And we can get rid of all but one of their permanents. Let's see what we can make happen here. Put in an Emrakul. Attack with Emrakul. And then next turn we can Portent. Okay, opponent just has a Quantum Riddler. And we're both just going to have 3 life essentially. They're going down to 1. And they cast a Right Hand into the Chalice. Yeah, I don't think they meant to do that. So we're at 3. The difference between 2 and 1 is basically nothing. Actually, it's going to be tomato, because we just grabbed that. It's going to be the same as tapping that for colorless anyways. So we're Portent for 6. Okay, we did find enough, so let's grab all his dust. Actually, we don't need Chalice. Actually, Chalice on 2 does something against them. Destiny and Eldrazi Temple? Done. We cast Devourer of Destiny. Get rid of their creature. And then now they've got to figure out what to do. Alright, and we get it there. Let's see what we've got in the sideboard. Here we're going to bring in 2 Torpor Orbs because they're Blink deck and 3 Thought-Knot Seer, and we're going to cut 1 Lorien Revealed and 4 Chalice of the Void since they have a pretty varying mana base. But they have a pretty wide range of CMC, I guess I should say instead. Here I feel inclined to keep, we're a little land light, but the Lorien Revealed is basically a land. And so we get the turn 2 Torpor Orb. And we'll pass it to the opponent and we'll Lorien Revealed in their instep. Opponent fetches, grabs Surveil land, keeps land on top. And instep, we're just going to island cycling the Lorien Revealed. We'll grab Steam Vents to get our red mana going. And we'll keep that. And then we could Eldrazi Temple and Thought-Knot Seer them. I'm kind of tempted to just do that. Put a threat on board. No, an opponent consigns to memory. Okay. Back to them. Opponent just grabs Surveil land, puts land in grave. Plays Plains, Quantum Riddler. And it feels like they have a way to blink it. Nope, okay. Okay, so let's go Island. Talisman. And Torpor Orb. And then next turn we just get to devour whatever they play. Hold on. Shocks and a Sacred Foundry. And goes for a Wrath X equals 2. I am astounded they keep in Wrath in this matchup, but it did them well there. We have nothing in exile, right? No. Opponent's got a 5. I think it's worth just making them sack their lands. Oh, actually, we don't have enough mana here. Do we just try to find our next mana off this? That way next turn we can Through the Breach Ulamog, make them sack 5. 6. Yeah, it seems kind of silly, but I think I'm just portenting to find a land. So 4 mana, draw 3. I'll take it. We did find the land. Oh. If opponent plays the Quantum Riddler from exile here, we might be in a somewhat rough position. No, we're fine, because then we just get the Devourer of Destiny. There's Obsidian Charmaw. Yeah, that's not good. And a Warped Quantum Riddler. They attack us for 8. Ugh. So we can Torpor Orb and Ice? Do we still have fetchable? Just making sure. Yes. So we don't want another colorless source. Let's just grab... Let's grab Island. And then go for, yeah, just Torpor Orb. Yeah, just Torpor Orb. Pass it to the opponent. Okay, here we're just going to ice this, save some damage, draw a card. Okay, we find K command, not the most important thing here. Opponent passes it back to us. Pretty suspicious when they have Quantum Riddlers in exile. But we're gonna hope that they have Consign to Memory up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can Through the Breach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we'd have to find another land. Yeah, let's just Through the Breach here. Do what we can, and then hope to find the land to be able to All Is Dust next turn. Oh, does opponent have Solitude? Nope, not Solitude. Oh. I guess Consign to Memory does stop an attack trigger. Okay, so now we're down to... We've got them down to 4. We're at 9. They're going to attack us for 4 here. Ugh. Yeah, and then this is just game, right? Unless the Arena of Glory is still somehow exerted, because they just haste an exiled Riddler, right? Yeah, here's a hasted Quantum Riddler, and then they're just going to attack for 8 here. Yep, alright, let's see what we can do. We do have Through the Breach and Emrakul, so we'll keep this even though it's a little on the slow side. What we can do is Ugin, put the Emrakul under it, pass to the opponent, and then next turn we can stock up, and then the turn after that we can add the Ugin back to hand if we want. Okay, if there's a K command, we are just going to play Otawara, save ourselves some life throughout the match. Go for a stock up. Ooh, and here we actually find Ulamog. 2, 3, 4, 5. In case the land gets blown up, let's take an... Creativity wouldn't be horrible, because next turn we could play Creativity 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to be able to go for it anyways. Let's grab the Eldrazi Temple. And the rest can go back in any order. And pass to the opponent. Okay, opponent just plays land, passes it back to us. There's an Emrakul. So we're just going to play Eldrazi Temple here, and then depending on what they do during their turn, if they try to Obsidian Charmaw, we'll just grab the Emrakul back. Otherwise, we'll go for K... Actually, no, I think we go for K command no matter what. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, no Thalia. I was expecting a Thalia from the opponent. And we're not going to be seeing an Obsidian Charmaw with a Haloed Fountain. So let's K command. If anything, this is somewhat of a permission spell. So let's see if they let us K command. Okay, they can sign that. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, no time like the present, right? Let's just go for it and hope for the best. But Ulamog in. Even if they have the consign here. Solitude, I think, is the only thing that they can really have here, right? Okay, no, opponent concedes it there. Alright, let's get into the next match. Good game, opponent. Alright, we're in the blind. We're gonna keep here on the draw. Let's see what opponent's got. Cool name from the opponent, by the way. If you know, you know. Okay, not exactly what we wanted to see here. Like, the first Chalice, phenomenal. The second Chalice, not that great. Ooh. Yeah, we need a Chalice on 2 here. Best I can do is Chalice on 1. Is there a world where we just say they don't have it? Let's see what happens. Alright, let's just X is 1. Their entire deck is 2. And honestly, I'm not going to make y'all sit through the storm, so let's just see what they got. Long story short, the opponent got there. Alright, for the sideboard, we're bringing in 4 Thought-Knot Seer and 3 Abrade, and we're cutting 2 Allah's Dust, the 3 Fire and Ice, a Stock Up, and a Lorien Revealed. In any other matchup, this would be keepable to me, because we have a decently fast enough, like, Through the Breach plus Emrakul. Theoretically, honestly, very castable turn 3. Actually, because it's castable turn 3. So 1, 2. The next turn, make a couple tokens. And then as long as we find a red source, you know, we're going to keep it. If they sack their lands and their mana reducer, what can they do? Okay, we need a red source. And now that the opponent has the Gemstone Caverns, our hand might be too slow. Oh. So Chalice is almost there. Let's keep the Shivan Reef. I said we needed red mana. And we'll just play the Ugin's Lab here. Alright, opponent might just get there during their turn 2 now. Okay, no, they just play Elegant Parlor. Put a land to graveyard. They exile with the 1 card, Reckless Impulse. They do get the Fire Brainstorm. Okay, so we can Eldrazi Temple this turn, say go to the opponent, and see what they got. Okay, they cast the Ruby Medallion. Oh, and they play tapped land. Okay. So let's Cake a Man. Scry make guys. Honestly, I'm pretty cool with keeping the 1 bottom, top. I mean, here there's just no way we don't Through the Breach Emrakul, right? Red, colorless, 2 and a guy. Through the Breach. Putting in an Emrakul. And then we just get to attack with Emrakul. They have to sacrifice everything. We deal 15 to them. Okay, opponent concedes it there. And honestly, I'm going to make a change. We don't know whether they're going to go for Ruby Medallion or Rel. We're just going to, in the blind, name one of them. Cut the stock up. cut the Lorien Revealed and let's just go for it. Here I think we got a mulligan. We really need a way to make multiple mana turn 1 and cast something that's relevant against them. So we'll mulligan this as well. Gotta mulligan that. And we'll keep this. Oh man, we gotta put 3? Oh Jesus. So we have the Abrade. We'll put back the Disrupting Flute. I mean, Chalice is cool and all, but I think... Yeah, I think we just keep the Abrade and hope it's enough. This is super awkward. Alright, let's play... Mountain and say go. Hopefully the Abrade's just enough to slow the opponent down a good bit. Okay, we see a Rune's Resolve from the opponent. So they don't have it yet. Okay, we get a K command. I guess worst case scenario, we can K command for X equals 1. Alright, on to the opponent. Okay, Pyretic Ritual. Artist Talent. Now that's the one we didn't really plan around. And then they Rune's Resolve. Okay, let's just K command. Do our thing. We gotta do our plan eventually. And we are very far behind. So they're just asking, do we want to keep land? Sure. We'll keep a land. Make sure we're making our land drop. Shivan Reef. If we add this to hand, the next turn we get to attack. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. So if we top a land, we're in a good position. Or we could go for 1, 2, 3, 4. We could Portent for 4. Then we're just gonna hold off a little bit. Continue just like saving the Abrade, and then I guess figure it out from there. Okay, Pyretic Ritual from the opponent. They go to level 2. Yeah, I mean, we have the Abrade, but they had the Artist Talent. Alright, I'll get back to y'all if anything important happens. AKA, if we're dead. Alright, there's the Past in Flames from the opponent. They probably just won. Yeah, long story short, the opponent got there. We had the Abrade, but they had the Artist Talent. It happens. Alright, we're back. We're in the blind. We're gonna keep. See if we can find some good stuff off this K command. It's hard to keep or throw away hands with K command in them. Ooh, Affinity. Our hand was not made for this. Do they have the turn 1 Kappa? Okay, Thoughtcast. Okay. Oh, not okay? Okay. Feeling a little scared. So let's just play the Eldrazi Temple and say go. Honestly, we probably do just try to throw them off of casting Kappa Cannoneer here. Let's just get rid of Memnite. And it's the most we can do for now. We draw a Prismatic Vista, which is okay, I guess. And we know they're on the weapons manufacturing version because of the Claws of Gix. And I think they have the Kappa anyways here. Yeah, there's Kappa Cannoneer. I'm trying to figure out how we get out of this one. So there's a world where we can ramp far enough to just exile it. Maybe that's just a world I'm comfortable living in. Let's just play Wastes and Talisman. So this might give away which version we're on, but there's not much else we can do in a position like this. And honestly, let's just go ahead and cycle this. And we'll grab just good old-fashioned island. Okay, we continue to draw some more lands. Yeah, even though I don't want to lose life, because of just how many lands we're drawing, I think we might need to thin a little. It's also kind of why we cycled the Lorien Revealed, was so we could thin a little. But, you know, sometimes things just happen a certain way. We'll just cast this out. Say go to the opponent. We could also draw something off top, which I think is what we might be going for. And that something is Allah's Dust. So we take a hit. Let's try to find the Allah's Dust. See if we can find it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, with the tokens it'll be enough. Oh, and it looks like they just have the Metallic Rebuke. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think we have an out here. Yeah, okay. I think maybe we just cut the 2 stock-ups and a Lorien Revealed for the 3 Thought-Knot Seer and run it back. I was about to say we might just be able to aggressively mulligan for Chalice of the Void, but looks like we found it anyway, so we'll keep. Alright, here's a Chalice on 0 opponent, and I'm just going to play down the Shivan Reef. And we don't have a lot of action, but hopefully this keeps the opponent from having action. Okay, Aether Spell Bomb's horrifying for us. We put in Huge Creature, they just say no. So let's put it on X = 1 as well. And hopefully we just kind of mostly lock the opponent out of playing the game. Oh, okay, opponent concedes the game there. Alright, let's go. We just gotta do that again. Run it back. Okay, this hand actually isn't the worst, but it certainly could be better. So we've got fire to try to hit like either 2 Memnites or some tokens. Yada yada yada. Let me play those, eventually get to Through the Breach. I think we just mulligan this one. We definitely mulligan that one. Oh man, I think we're going all the way down to 4. I mean, we could Prismatic Vista turn 1, do Lorien Revealed, do Fire, try to shoot some stuff. Let's go to 4. We'll keep it, and we'll put all the talismans and stuff to bottom. Yeah, we'll just try to go for a Chalice of the Void, and then maybe try to follow it up with a Thought-Knot Seer. Okay, opponent played a few cards. We do like to see Eldrazi Temple. Let's cast the Chalice on 0. And then let's go ahead and play the Eldrazi Temple and pass to the opponent. Fiery Islet. Are they just trying to get to a slow Kappa Cannon here, maybe? Oh, Vandal Blast on the Chalice. Oh, no. Okay. Have no fear. We have a Thought-Knot Seer. And let's see if we can take something important out of the opponent's hand. A Kappa, maybe? Oh, opponent's got double Thought Cast. Okay. Yeah, that Vandal Blast put us in a rough spot. So opponent floats one off the Urza Saga. Play gets Mox Opal off Urza Saga. Finds second Urza Saga. And with the Lava Spur Boots out, if they find another land, that Urza Saga, the tokens are just going to be coming in with haste. They're getting the tokens regardless here. Yeah, we're not in the best position. Okay, passes it back to us. We find another Ugin's Lab. I think we play it with nothing under it. Feels weird. Attack with Thought-Knot Seer. Might be the only time we get to this match. But that'll at least put them in range of through the breach. Because unless they hit an Ornithopter, or if they're playing Thought Monitor. Oh, there's another land. Goodness. Okay, yeah, we're about to be getting hit pretty hard here. Yeah, opponent makes the construct, equips it, and they're going to hit us for 7 here. Or maybe just 6. Okay, just 6. It does put us in what I'm going to call basically lethal next turn. Man, that is not what we needed. I really don't know what we can even draw at this point to try to get out of this. Yeah, opponent makes a construct, finds a Mox Opal. Trying to figure out why they grabbed Mox Opal, since they had the mana to move the Lava Spur Boots anyways. Okay, they cast the Pinnacle Emissary. We are first to block here. Opponent gets to draw a card. Again, I don't even know what we can draw off top to get into a winning position. Yeah, we'll concede it there. Good game, opponent. Good game. Alright, we're back for the next match. If this is an aggressive matchup, we're in a bad spot. We just stock up turn 3, hope to find stuff for turn 4. Let's mulligan it. Okay, I'm liking what I'm seeing here. We'll keep this one. We've got that, we got that, we got that. Let's put Island on the bottom. Okay, we need one more land. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's grab the Lorien Revealed. And we'll just put the Devourer under it. And then we pass it to the opponent. Okay, we see Sacred Foundry, Ocelot Pride, so it's probably just energy. So here we can play the Mountain, and then we can Island Cycling the Lorien Revealed. And then we'll have a turn 4 Emrakul, so it just depends on how much the opponent can do before turn 3. But high key, a 3 the Breach Emrakul might not be enough in this matchup. We see a Johnny from the opponent, and they make token. Oh, whoops, forgot to silent cycling that. The Ulamog does get rid of one more. And just so I don't mess it up personally, I'm just gonna go ahead and grab a basic island. Kind of just hoping opponent plays land Flage here, so that way we get to make them sack the board. Opponent attacks us, gain some life. We see land. And a Seasoned Pyromancer, so yeah, they're gonna get a ton of tokens here. Yeah, they've already got 10. They're gonna make 1, 2, 3, 4 more tokens at instep, so the Emrakul really isn't even enough here. What we kind of need is an Ugin's Lab off top. That's not an Ugin's Lab. Because we got Ugin's Lab, we could put 15 counters on the Defiler, and then that's a different story. Yeah, I guess let's do what we can here. And there's nothing that's going to be big enough from the opponent. So yeah, let's just put in the Ulamog. Now, opponent Heike just gets to chump block and Ulamog. Okay, we attack with the Ulamog. They've got to exile 7, or sacrifice 7, I guess. Yeah, opponent sacrifices a few things, but they've actually still got a pretty decent board. They don't even chump block. They don't want to chump block. They said, forget about that. We're just going to try to kill you. So let's see. They're attacking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then they make a token. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Technically not dead this turn, so if we threw the breach again next turn with Ulamog, we might be able to get there. Yeah, opponent attacks for a sizable amount. There's a Cat Warrior. They hit us for 5, down to 3. I honestly don't think even through the breach gets us there. Yeah, we'll concede it there. Yeah, and we're just going to run it back here. We are going to keep our 7 here. Open on the back of Devourer. Yeah, let's see if we hit anything important. Through the breach. Don't mind if I do. Play the Ugin's Labyrinth. The Devour under it, cast the Talisman, and we'll just pass it to the opponent. We should have a turn 3 opponent sack 14 permanents, or 7 permanents, my bad. Opponent just goes turn 1 Fetch Shock Guide. We are just going to play Prismatic Vista and pass it back to the opponent. Opponent attacks 1 with the Guidosaurs. Plays an Ocelot Pride. Arid Mesa, and instead they're just gonna do some stuff. We'll grab Island here. So yeah, let's just do the thing our deck wants to do. Try to put the opponent back as far as possible. So there's a chance maybe we were supposed to hold off for a turn, but I feel like if we held off for a turn, they may have just had enough tokens to sacrifice anyways. So we're making them sack their board, knocking them down to 5, and then just saying go. And then from here, I think our plan is just either do another Through the Breach, or add Devourer to hand. I'll just pose Elegant Parlor, passes it back to us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, if we want to, we could just add Devour back to hand on instep. Let's play the Ugin's Lab. Don't put anything under it, and just say go to the opponent. And here, what we can do is we can bounce whatever they play during their turn, and then Through the Breach the Devourer of Destiny. Okay, opponent does play a Johnny. So we'll just take that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, and we're a mana off of casting the Devourer. Let's just put this in hand. We draw like another 7-drop off top. We'll feel pretty sad about it. Okay, Chalice. Let's cast Chalice on 2, yeah? Yeah, let's cast the Chalice on 2. This stops another Johnny, or several other things, actually. Goblin Bombardment. The Raven Jaw. Okay, opponent's not missing land drops. It is somewhat risky for the opponent to attack. Because if they play something like Flage here... Okay. It's Seasoned Pyromancer. Okay, we have K command. For 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm thinking we just I don't know, that Flagon Graveyard might be a problem. Okay, let's say they have exactly a Ring of Glory. That's 12. Yeah, that's more than enough. I guess we could always make and block. Yeah, let's just pass to the opponent. Let's see what happens. So I feel confident if we can get an Emrakul, we're chilling. Okay. Opponent's just going to attack everything except the Ajani here. So that's 6 damage. We'll go to 9. Let's see, a Guide of Souls. An Ocelot Pride. And they're just going to get to make a bunch of stuff here. We're just going to go ahead and cast our K command. Make 4 dudes, scry 4, draw 1. All is Dust is actually pretty good here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we can cast Chalice of the Void or Portent. Let's put this on bottom. This on bottom. This on top. This on top. And then we're not even totally weak to Arena of Glory Flage. Alright, here we just go for the Olive's Dust. Make them sack their bird. Alright, let's see what opponent's got. They play a Ragavan and a Goblin Bombardment that gets countered. No Chalice checking on Magic Online. Okay, and then here, what we're going to do is we are just going to go ahead and play the Talisman. Wow, what a bad idea that was. Chalice check myself. So we could either go Devour here or Portent for 6. I like to spin the wheels of faith. Let's go Portent for 6. I feel confident we'll find an Emrakul along with 3 different types. Wow, this was bad. So we take land, artifact, instant sorcery. Done. Land for turn, and we don't even get to... Oh my god, that's bad. That's really bad. That's really bad, y'all. I messed up. Yeah, opponent gets to attack us with Ragavan. We find a Lorien Revealed, but that doesn't really matter. What does matter is they have a treasure now, so they can cast Flage from the graveyard. Oh, well, they're just going for a Seasoned Pyro here, going for the wide board plan. They just discard a Thraben Charm and draw 2. They find a land. Onto us. So we get another Devourer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I just about did it. I just about cast a Chalice and kept us from being able to have a Devourer. So yeah, let's just Devour here. Get rid of Ragavan. Just in case they've got something for the Devourer of Destiny. Now it's on to the opponent. Yeah, opponent casts Flage here. Probably just hit us directly for 3. They do. Just realized. Yeah, let's Devourer of Destiny again. Exile the Flage. And we're in a pretty rough position here, because we kind of have to leave back blockers. Our hand's full of 2-drops when we cast the Chalice of the Void on 2. Every time I cast Chalice of the Void on 2, I'm like, man, this is really going to hurt my opponent, and then I just draw a bunch of 2-drops. Oh, opponent plays an Ocelot Pride. Exiles their Seasoned Pyromancer from grave. Draws. Okay, because we've got no other action this turn anyways, I'm pretty sure this gets countered. This is just making sure this is considered 2 mana and not 4. Okay, yeah, 100% gets countered. Was just making sure. Does the opponent just get around us next turn? Not quite. So we're not dead. But we're not living well either. Probably could have been attacking actually, because they're just gonna have to sack with what would be blocking with anyways. Alright, we do blocks on the opponent. Pass it back to us. Think Through the Breach Emrakul does something for us here. Let's cast Through the Breach. Put in the Emrakul. Move to combat. Actually, I think if they play it right... Oh no, this is flying. Oh, they're done for. Oh! 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 We somehow pulled it back. Let's go, let's go. And we get there. Alright, we might need some blockers here. We might just need to bring in the Thought-Knot Seers to absorb up some damage for us. It's really awkward, because there's nothing we really want to cut for it. Because everything else just helps us toward our main game plan here. Like, there's some argument for like, hey, maybe they have too many different CMCs for Chalice of the Void. And to that I say, you're probably right. You know, this is... No, I think we're supposed to keep it Chalice. Is there anything else we can cut? Maybe we trim a Lorien and a Stock Up to bring in 2 of them? And yeah, I think it's just what we have to do. Let's run it back. We'll see. Scary thing is we're on the draw now. Is turn 1 Chalice on 1 enough for the opponent? Probably not. We're gonna keep it anyways. Let's hope we luck out. We need lands off top. And we'll put the Allah's Dust under it. And Chalice for X equals 1. Hope that does a lot for us. Opponent casts the Ragavan into the Chalice. Here's the thing, they could just be setting up their graveyard for an eventual Flage if they don't think they can handle the Chalice anyways. What we want to see off top is land. Alright, we're back with the wrap-up. It's difficult to say where the deck is. It did some things right, it did some things wrong. We maybe didn't do as much justice for the deck as we could have. I think I'm inclined to take out some of the control elements like Fire and Ice and Stock Up to try to go more in on Portent of Calamity and maybe some more ramp. Just say, screw it, we're going all in, we're going to try to do all the things. And just try to get there as quickly as possible. Chalice the Void did okay. Allah's Dust, it's good. Could be better. Sideboard, I'd change up some of the sideboard. The Boseiju didn't feel the best. Ashiok's maybe just too dependent on like trying to get there against Titan. The Thought-Knot Seers I would even bring into the main, cutting like the Stock Ups, the Fire Ice, bringing an extra Portent of Calamity, and maybe that's kind of a deck we look at. Maybe cut one of the Lorien Revealed for another Mind Stone. And again, we're just going like more into the plan, but all in all, deck's fun. I think it needs a little bit of tweaking and it could be better, but yeah, that is pretty much it for the wrap up. Thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe, comment what deck you want to see me play next, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace out.